put it on so everybody can access the recording afterwards if you want to listen to the meeting.
Yeah, or share with some colleagues or whatever.
Hello, this is Hiro Kitaoka from Panasonic.
Hello, Kitaoka-san.
Hello. I'm fine. How about you?
Good.
Hello,
Hello.
Davide speaking from Videotech.
And also Ottavio.
How are you?
We're fine.
You guys coming to Hong Kong?
Sorry?
To the Hong Kong meeting?
Yes.
Only
Monday.
Davide, not me.
Yeah.
May I ask one question?
Absolutely.
If other players want to join to our group, how to process that? It's just I can get them involved, and they will come. They will join directly or something like that, or need to fill in something, or I don't know. For example, if other VMS partners they want to come to our group, is that okay for the group rules or anything?
Yeah, I mean it's an open source project, so anyone can join. And we have right now we have some on the GitLab site we have some private repository which you need to be request a membership. So, but anyone can join.
Okay.
We will of course then with the charter we will be a little bit more strict, so those that do join that they do contribute, not sort of listening or taking the work. So that's what we want to achieve, that you are an active contributor. And I don't know if you've been looking at the repository that Frederick has created, but there is a proposal for a charter, working draft of a charter. That charter have been reviewed by legal team, so it shouldn't be any controversies in there. When you have the time, I suggest you take a look at it. So we're prepared for the meeting next week to finally decide on the details of this.
Yeah.
Frederick says it's an open source project, and I think you met also someone that wanted to join.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally understand. Yeah. I just want to know, because we don't yet marketize this kind of program yet. So before we launch that, I don't know if we need some kind of a process to say that. I don't know if someone from other company or other players they join one time and they quit next time, and they just get some information they share to public to anything else. So I don't know. I'm sure it will not happen, but I don't know in future. So just know if you have any idea on governance regulation or whatever, so we can follow that, or we just do as we want. So
I think we're planning to launch this as a Linux Foundation project, and but we are not quite ready because
at the Hong Kong meeting, we'll discuss the charter, which will be something that has to be approved, and then we can contact the organization to get their idea about it. And after, I think when we have launched this Linux Foundation project, I think it's go public.
Yeah, of course.
You will see some wording in the proposed charter about the governance of
Okay.
and also a little bit about marketing, but we can discuss that in detail when we meet in Hong Kong.
Okay, understand. Yeah, I can wait. I can wait until next meeting. Then we will see.
But Frederick, I have a question. So you said you want to launch it through the Linux Foundation. Shouldn't we, at least before launching, have a little bit of structure in the project? Because as of today, it is so vague that if we launch it in a few weeks, I am scared that we may end up with people onboarding let's say software houses that are not very familiar with the surveillance industry, and we may end up with a lot of chaos. So maybe before launching it, we should have something at least to show the way, not only to talk a little bit, but also something working to show the way, what is the target, the scope of our work. Otherwise, we face the risk that the project may severely.
I mean, intention is to have a reference platform and some sample implementation of an application. So I think before we have that, it doesn't make much sense to go public.
Okay, I agree with that.
I think it's better to have something concrete. We also looked at the naming of the project, and we asked Axis IPR people to look at the name Unimatrix, see whether that was suitable or not for the name of the project. And they came back and say it's okay. It doesn't sort of compete with any similar type of initiative. Interesting though to look at GitHub only. There are 8 other projects named Unimatrix. They are basically related to the translation of Klingon, I think, from a very famous TV series. There's no competition, so the legal staff here said it's okay to use. That's the name we're going to use for the project. No one else have any suggestion. I think we actually agreed last time that we go for this anyway.
I mean, right now it's just the name of a group, so we can certainly change it if we run into some problem.
But I think it's easy. It's easy to pronounce. It's easy to write. Good. We'll take a look at the agenda here. At the naming.
Where's the agenda? Because I see on. Because I see only the old minutes, but I don't see the draft agenda. Or I mean, is the agenda available together with the other minutes, or?
It's sent out in the invitation.
The invitation. Okay, I was looking in the wrong place.
Yeah, and I just, because we have to change to WebEx, so I copied Will's agenda. So we're done with the naming initiative, and we are also does it say anything about charter here? For participation of the steering group, we have not dealt with.
As I said, Per, since last time we said that there is more job like reviewing and giving this kind of contribution, I can volunteer for that if you want.
But we can discuss that in detail when we meet also in Hong Kong to find out a little bit more what the expected workload might be.
Okay.
It's a little bit difficult maybe for the time being to see. Maybe it's more work later on when we start to how we go public on this. Put that on the Hong Kong agenda to discuss with. Common development. Rosberg, any update on that?
Well, I put another project on Unimatrix site. It's just right now a pretty empty layer, but the intention is to put is we need to build the reference platform there. So it's called the Meta Unimatrix. I will put basically what I'm building right now is like cookie distribution, which is based on Open Embedded, and then Docker Community Edition, and some stuff for configuration.
When do you plan, Frederick? When do you plan to push the recipes?
Hopefully before Hong Kong. But we haven't really got everything working because I want to also put TensorFlow Lite and working together with the Raspberry. I haven't really got the recipe working for that yet.
Okay, because if you remember last time that we had a call in August, I told you that I would like to try and replicate the meta layer, not using Yocto, but by using Buildroot. So in the meanwhile, I created the equivalent of your meta layer in a public repository under my account on GitLab, because it's easier for me to work on that. And also I need to be able to understand when you add new packets, what you want to do. So I will use that project to learn what you're pushing and to understand if everything that you do is understandable from my side. So if you want, then I can send you a link. It's public. As you said, for yours, it's the same for mine. I just have a very, very equivalent of the meta layer for compiling for the Raspberry to replicate everything.
So I have some building instructions because we have some dependencies to build Docker Community Edition. You need a couple of more layers. So, but I will try to push that before for Hong Kong,
so that I can try review it and replicate.
difficulty I had was with the TensorFlow Lite part. So probably that one I won't push it. So, but at least you will get the Docker plus network manager and some other stuff.
Because I think it will be a very, very nice way to check interoperability if we can do different build systems.
Also, my idea from the start was actually not to build the actual firmware. I was hoping to use Raspbian. I want to use the 64-bit architecture, and Raspbian doesn't support that. So that's why I'm actually building the whole.
Okay. Okay, so we will be updating these also in the next calls as long as goes on.
Great idea to try two different. You could actually push it to. You can push it to our GitLab account if you want.
I don't know if I'm allowed to create a new project.
I will have a look at if you right now you register as developer. You need to be an admin. I will check that.
Okay.
So feedback from you, in addition to Ottavio's feedback on that. Mics are red. The agenda for the meeting in Hong Kong, we have decided that we should go for 2 tracks. One for the governance side, where myself will head that group, and I will take down a few points for agenda, send out before the meeting. You guys take care of the agenda for the technical part.
Yes. Maybe we should start all of us in one, have a common track first, maybe like 1 or 2 hours to common things. I think from the technical side, the most important thing is use cases.
Interface requirement and format, container image format. Container image format.
Shadora, we can't really hear you.
Jag har skrivit någon.
Diskuterat
Shall we decide that we start to, I mean, even before we have an agenda, if you have agenda points you want to bring up, you just send them to this same group. I will collect, distribute into one document. Is that okay?
Since we are using Git, we could commit our modification to the draft agenda before the meeting starts. It does not even require you to do all the merge on your own.
Okay.
I think we are skilled enough.
Draft agenda to the meetings project.
Yes, Frederick, we prepared interface requirements and container image format proposal. Will you please put these 2 topics into the agenda?
Can you please repeat? It was a little bit difficult to hear.
We prepared interface requirements and container format image proposal.
We're sorry, you're like dropping out. You mind trying again?
Is that for technical side, we prepare something on container image format and the interface requirement, that we have something from our experience, from our mind, so we just get all the requests and we can discuss, we can share during meeting technical part.
Do you want to hold a presentation about the Hikvision experience?
It's a yeah, it's a very simple presentation. It's not a not well done, but a very pre-draft version. So it's just some idea we want to share. We want to discuss with all of you. So
yeah, perfect.
Perfect. So we added that to our agenda.
yeah, and also for another business marketing side, I don't know if talk a little bit about all the business model, marketing planning, and when we can do what, and when we can share what kind of message outside, or when we can recruit more partners or do something together within this container group. So that is also something we want to out during governance and business meeting, right?
Absolutely. So I've already put down a communication plan, sort of bullet point. Did you take note of that, Willie?
No, you did.
But what's the technical? So the High Commission proposal.
Yeah.
So I will put this into a document and I will put it on GitHub on the auditor's proposed agenda for Hong Kong. Very good.
So maybe how many people are registered right now, Willie? You have a
It
count?
was 11 last time I checked. And that equation as well. If I could. Seven now. Who has accepted the invitation?
I think for next meeting we probably need an email reflector because this email list is getting a little bit difficult to manage because people disappear and new people. Does anyone know a good tool for that?
It's using Ombit, but then we need to have a hosting.
But that's
MailChimp?
that's cheap, right?
That's not MailChimp.
Right now, the totally people coming to this meeting, Hong Kong meeting, should be like a 10, right? Around 10.
11 was when it's counted.
11, okay. And do we need to separate the two groups, or we can stay in one single group all the day long? Because over there we have two meeting rooms, one big, one small.
Small is okay. If a governance discusses marketing plan and so on, that could be done separately.
Yeah.
So that's good to have two rooms available.
Yeah.
This is Sibin from Costain. Just to let you know, we won't be able to attend the meeting in Hong Kong. Our travel hasn't been authorized, so we'll have to skip, unfortunately.
Okay, so you're not allowed to travel to Hong Kong.
Companies had some, given the exact reason, with some political issues. And
I understand. We saw that the registrants for OMBIF meeting on the 30th. We conclude that a lot of people are not being able to travel to Hong Kong. That will affect Unimatrix as well.
it's apparently to do with
I
the
think we would
insurance
have.
not covering or something.
Probably, yeah. Also, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to keep arranging this meeting together with On. We should probably have a separate meeting next time.
And we should discuss this in the face-to-face also the next meeting, where and
Yeah,
how.
absolutely. So
A meeting planning.
Oh, yes, but I think then you will face the problem of traveling back.
Also, we have to
Also, we need to discuss the necessity of how often we meet face to face in the planning.
I have was to kind of co-host with the conferences. If people, I mean, we sometimes go to Linux Foundation conferences, and we could co-locate a meeting with that.
For the Hong Kong meeting, should we set up a WebEx that runs in parallel? People can dial in or listen in, or
partly, we could
Yeah.
do that. It could be hard to.
I think the. Oops, sorry.
oh, applause! Thank you.
Yeah, there's a presentation going on here. I was saying the WebEx one for the initial meeting where everybody's involved, that would be useful. We could probably dial into that. Necessary that we have it for the whole session, because that might not be possible.
Yeah. Okay, so we aim at that. Anything else we need to discuss? Nothing else. This, and we hear you.
Also, can we know from exercise, do you have any expert on AI deep learning area that who will also come to this meeting in Hong Kong or in next time?
They were not able to join this time.
We had a meeting at a different location at the same time.
So we would like to check. They were prepared to meet. Maybe we can arrange a separate meeting. We could even here in Lund or in somewhere else in Europe.
Okay.
For our point of view, if we choose to have separate meetings and if they can be held in Europe, at least initially, it's much better for Videotech.
Same thing for us.
We also offer to host if necessary.
It should also be easier than US for Chinese.
I think it's Asia and Europe that same as in Orbit that is feasible.
Yeah.
We should probably alternate.
Well, let's see how things develop, but we keep that in mind. So, okay, we finish?
One final thing for Frederick. Frederick, I tried to create the project for Buildroot under the Unimatrix account, but it complains that I am not an owner or maintainer. I cannot create a master branch. So can you somehow try and give me the rights to create a master branch and push?
Yes, I think I changed you now to maintainer.
Yeah. Okay, the final check. You should see it now. It's private, but there is my things and my initial instructions for building. So, as soon as you move forward, I will work that up to date.
Okay, I can push today the new the image recipe that will build also the instructions for, because you need to set up a number of layers. So I will push the instructions plus a new recipe for building the Docker plus the network manager and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So thank you for participating. I will send out the link to the recording. Separate. I think we should have put the file on GitLab.
We have it on the private project in audio logs.
Create a file and I'll send it to you. Very good. So thank you all.
Also, I'll push the drafting agenda, and then you can add if you have anything agenda for Hong Kong. We can put it there.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
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 Bye.